Big time. Get the Kleenex ready, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, though, let's go to Lisa.
Thanks a lot for that, Sylvia. Well, of course, it's been budget week. Let's take a little look right now at Bill Shorten delivering his budget reply speech last night.
This budget fails the fairness test and it fails the generational test. And the great irony of this budget is that while it doesn't measure up to our values, it doesn't keep faith with traditional coalition values.
Yeah, Bill Shorten last night promising higher taxes for high earners, but also confirming Labor will back the planned bank levy. It's all sparked claims of class warfare this morning. And to discuss this and more is Labor's Anthony Albanese, and filling in for Christopher Pyne, Josh Frydenberg. Good morning to you, gentlemen. Albo, I'm going to go to you first.
We're ready, Lisa.
So Bill
we
Shorten
missed out on the graphic.
Good.
We missed out on the graphic, so we're ready.
Whatever that means.
This is a live graphic.
This is a live
Okay, good.
too.
Excellent. All right, moving on. Bill Shorten has confirmed that Labor will be supporting the banking levy, Albo, and yet he's also warned that if the banks do pass on a single cent of that levy to customers, then Malcolm Turnbull has to go. Well, the banks have already threatened they're going to pass it on. So on that wrecking, that means Bill Shorten is going to have to go too.
No, we've put the bank... That's not right, Lisa. This is the government's bank levy that they put on Tuesday night. We're saying to the banks, don't pass it on. We want to give the banks a royal commission. That's what we wanted. That's what we went to the election campaign on. That's what the Australian people want as well, to make sure that we have proper assessment. I think it's actually in the banks and financial institutions' own responsibility. So they should embrace it and say, yeah, let's see how we can get better and have better relations with our customers and the general public. Because at the moment, no one has much sympathy for them.
OK, but the thing is, if Labor is going to support this and pass it through Parliament, that means that you are just as responsible as the government will be if they do pass it on. But on that note, Josh, the opposition has been pushing for a banking royal commission for a long time now. Isn't it time we really took a long, hard look at them with a royal commission?
Well, we've put in place a number of processes to increase the accountability of banks. And indeed, Scott Morrison, not just in putting in place this bank levy where we'll have the ACCC as the cop on the beat to make sure it doesn't get passed on to consumers in an unfair way, but he's also put in place an accountability mechanism, Lisa. So for the top executives, they can lose their bonuses, and we'll be watching very closely to make sure that they behave. You see, what we have seen over time in the banks is poor processes where the public have lost out, as well as that the banks rely on an implicit guarantee in times of crisis on the government. So it's only fair that they've now got this levy to pay.
Yeah, we do know they can be very sneaky, though. But let's move on. Albo, the National Disability Insurance Scheme, your party introduced, but were never fully able to fund it. There's currently a $3.8 billion hole there. Where are you going to find the extra cash?
Well, that's just not right, Lisa. The fact is that Labor is the party of the NDIS. We are very proud of the National Disability Insurance Scheme joining great Labor reforms like compulsory superannuation, like Medicare, like accessing education or educational opportunity for young people. We created the NDIS, we support the NDIS, and what we did last night was outline a fair package. Rather than millionaires getting a $16,000, $400 tax cut, while ordinary workers earning $22,000 and above getting a tax increase, we said, let's be fair about this. Let's acknowledge that those people on those low incomes are already suffering from, we've got low wage increases, we've got real pressures on the household budget. And last night, our response to the budget by Bill Shorten was a Labor response.
Well, Lisa, can I just say,
460,000...
I'd say
OK, please reply.
Yeah, I'd say 460,000 people who will be relying on the NDIS will be scratching their heads this morning, because what they'll be saying is, why didn't the Labor Party fully fund the NDIS like the coalition has committed to do? I mean, just a few years ago, Labor supported an increase in the Medicare levy for all income earners because they knew it would fund the NDIS. Now they want to pick and choose that Medicare levy. We have fully funded the NDIS, like we have fully funded our schools commitment, like we have fully funded our infrastructure commitments and our health commitments, as well as planning a path back to surplus. Labor didn't do any of that. And then not only are they going to hike the taxes, as you say, on households, but they're also going to hike the taxes on small business, and that's going to be a real problem for the economy.
All right, we are going to have to leave it there. But, gentlemen, I'm finding it very uncomfortable, you two standing next to each other like that. Can you give each other a hug or something? It's just this body contact that needs to be... There we go.
We're tennis partners
Well, that's
as
right.
well. We do pretty well on the court together.
I must say, as a doubles partner, Albo makes a very good politician.
How mean. I said something
Oh,
nice.
look at that. That's
right.
lovely to see.
And believe
Thank
it or
you,
not,
gentlemen.
I play
We'll see you
forehand, so
soon.
I'm on the right.
Good to see you.
Whatever that means. I'm not sure.
Coming up, a high performance car.